Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Here we are with another exciting episode of And That Is Why I'm Still Single. This one happened when I was a teenager. I'd met a nice young man. He was from the city. And I was still in high school. It was my senior year of high school, as a matter of fact. And I was modeling. And I had met him through the photographer that I was modeling for. He asked me if I'd like to go out for dinner and a movie, and I told him I'd have to ask permission at home, and he said that he would call me, and I gave him my phone number. And so I went home and I told my mom where I'd met him and who he was, a little bit about him that I'd found out through talking to him. And I asked her if it'd be okay for me to go out with him. She was a little apprehensive, but she says, well, yeah, I guess you can go out to dinner and a movie. So he called me in a day or two and asked if it was going to be okay. And so we set up the date there for a Saturday night to go out. And he showed up. He was dressed real nice, and he was driving an older vehicle, for a teenager. That wasn't out of the ordinary, but it was nice and clean and everything. And we went out. We had a nice meal. We saw a movie. We had a good time. We come back to the house, and I said, would you like to come in? And I'll fix us some pop. If you want to come in the house, we'll sit and talk for a little while. And he says, yes, that'd be nice. So we go in the house. We sit down on the couch, and Mom and Dad had already gone to bed. I went in and fixed us a glass of pop. Brought him in, and he says, I bought these new boots the other day, and they are hurting my feet something awful, and I've been in pain all evening. He says, would you mind if I kicked my boots off? And they were those, I call them ankle boots. They have the little zippers on the sides of them, and I said, well, I don't mind if you kick your boots off and make yourself comfortable. And so he unzipped his boots and kicked them off. And about that time, my mother comes roaring out of her bedroom. And she's got a robe on, but my mother always wore a beehive hairdo. And at night, she would wrap that thing in toilet paper to protect it so it didn't come all unraveled on the pillowcases at night, and she'd have to be redoing her hair. So she comes out, her head wrapped in toilet paper, her robe on, and she's screaming at him to get out. Get out, get out, get out of my house, get out right now. And I am in shock. I could not believe she was doing this. And he's scrambling, getting his boots on, and out the door he flies. And I said to her, what on earth made you do that? And she says, I heard him unzipping his pants. I said, he had on some new boots that was hurting his feet. They had zippers on the sides of them. And he asked if he could take his boots off because his feet was hurting. And she says, well, I know what I heard. And back into her bedroom, she got, oh my goodness gracious. I could not have been any more embarrassed in my entire life. Luckily, this guy was from the city, and I never saw him again. Of course, he never called me again. He was embarrassed out of his mind. And, I can't make this stuff up. But that's why I'm still single.